Hey everybody, it's Jon from the Hometown Historian channel. I am here with handsome Ralph.
Crazy Ralph.
Crazy Ralph. We are up here in Goldmine Region, up near going to Boxcar Rocks, and we're going doing some hiking. And where are we going exactly?
We are going up Boxcar Road the whole way out, 45 minutes. We're going to go past Coyote and Bobcat on all these small roads, and we're going looking for the elusive wood frog. Yeah, so what happens is we plan on attending the wood frog orgy. There'll be, if we find this weekend, it might be too early, but if we find it this weekend, there'll be 1,000 in these vernal ponds of frogs just going nuts.
Sounds fun.
In case kids are watching, they're nuts. They're happy.
They're happy. They're playing leapfrog.
They're playing very close quarters.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Yeah, they're very
leapfrog.
good at it. Yeah,
that's where it was named from. So we're going on a hike, and if we disappear, you can find this message, and you know that we got caught by the headless miner or one of those other weird apparition creatures that are out here. So, yes. So I'm not going to be filming while we're hiking because I want to be able to see where I'm going. I don't want to fall. So I'll show you when we get up there. We'll start filming again. But thanks to Ralph for bringing us out here.
You're welcome.
And we'll see.
And if not, it was nice knowing you all. And see my obituary, that means I wasn't in as good a shape as I thought I might have been.
And if one of us doesn't come back, we know one of us got sacrificed.
That's how it works.
And there was a hit out on us. Okay, thanks everybody.
Yes.
You're live.
I am live. Hey, so I was just saying to John, this right here is our first intersection off of Boxcar. Boxcar Rocks is back that way, okay? And we are now further in than John's been before, but I've been back here lots and lots of times. So you'll see that there is a road going down here as you're coming in. You're going to be heading east, okay? So as you come in, there's going to be a road that's going to go ahead and go off to your left, which actually is heading north, okay? This right here, I've seen signs for it before, and they call it Bobcat Road. What happens is Bobcat Road will go ahead, and this right here is right now we're on like a plateau, okay? There's a hill there / mountain. And right behind us, there's also the hill, which is actually where Boxcar Rocks actually is. So we're kind of like in a plateau. So what happens is we're on the one edge of the plateau here, still at Boxcar Rocks, which will go out total length of about an hour and 15 minutes by old pace. What happens is the Bobcat goes down this way, and what's going to happen is it's going to be another road that's going to be running parallel now to Boxcar called Coyote. And the neat thing about Coyote is bring your bicycles back here, okay? Because what happens is once you get on Coyote, you can actually ride on Coyote the whole way down to the town of Lincoln, which is on Route 81, I believe, or darn close to it. And I mean, and you can do it on your bicycle. It's manageable. You can even go ahead and do this Boxcar, but what happens is it kind of comes to a T, and both edges of the T, they don't go any place that you want to really use a bicycle for. That's really cool. What also happens with Bobcat is when you get up here to where Coyote starts going to my right, there's gonna be a big swamp over here, okay? It's really cool. You can't ride a bicycle in there, it's a swamp. And then also there's kind of like a little bit of a road going up the mountain, but it kind of just peters out and it turns into like a trail. But anyway, if you're back here, like I said, use your bicycle on Coyote, but if not, walk. And I don't know how far in we're now. We started out at 10 something.
It was 10:16.
Yeah, so we're about half an hour in at our new pace, okay? But we've been goofing off because John just goofs off all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, anyway.
I make excuses.
We're going to go ahead and do this throughout this hike, so that way you guys can go ahead and see what we're doing, and then when we're in better shape, we'll come back here and do it official, okay?
Cool. All right, you're live.
Okay, anyway, so what I was saying now. Hey, so out there in the middle of this pond, these are called vernal ponds, by the way. I learned that from my daughter, who's smarter than I'm ever going to be, okay? What vernal ponds actually are, this right here is probably a strip mine at one time, and what happens is, this right here is a year-round pond that's pretty much like spring-fed, okay? So what happens is it'll probably stay at either this height due to rain and snow, or it will go ahead and go lower during drier seasons. But if you look out in the middle of the pond, you'll see there's egg sacs out there already. So here we are, looking for the elusive wood frog. There's a very good chance that some might be out because there are egg sacs out there, and something had to lay them. Okay. So anyway, this is the very first one though that you hit on Boxcar Rocks as your road as you come down through. It's going to be on your right hand side. Okay. There'll be a lot more, but this is the very first one, and this is what I always use as my test. If I don't see anything here, I kind of figure there probably isn't going to be anything happening. But I'm very positive this morning. So I forget if I had mentioned already because, you know, I'm nuts. But if we hear turkeys in the distance, I'm going to have John go ahead and turn on the video then. That actually is not turkeys gobbling. That actually is the wood frogs leaping. Okay?
Having some fun.
Having some fun. So fingers crossed. Okay?
Cool.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and get close to that one, or this one here, because you can see the little black dots in them.
Yeah, that's the things that the eggs that
Yes.
Ralph was talking about from the wood frogs.
Yeah, these right here are actually wood frog egg sacs. And this right here, again, is this is just a puddle, okay? But this puddle here is normally here, and along with the one, if you look up there, you'll see there's going to be another puddle. So maybe you won't want to turn off the camera until I walk up
There's
there.
a ghost coming down the trail towards
Oh
us.
my gosh, the Elusive.
They're wearing
Yeah.
orange vests.
But anyway, just so you're aware, these actually are frog egg sacs. Let me walk up here and let you know if there's more.
Squishy, 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 squishy every day. Yeah, here's like, it's like a creek or something coming down through the mountain.
There's none here, but there might be some in that
Mine
mess
that
right
middle,
there.
yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
So we want to turn that off so we can talk to these people.
Yep.
Okay, we're on. Hey, so I don't know if you can hear it or not on the video, but you'll hear a clucking. So I'm gonna be quiet. So you hear that clucking. That actually are the wood frogs. Okay. So what's going to happen is over here on our left-hand side as we're walking in, this right here is a Verto Pond. Okay. And then what's going to happen is it's going to continue up this road a little bit, which we didn't want to go up because there's a freaking hill there, but we're going to try it. Okay. But anyway, there seems to be some up there. Okay. Also, at the same time, we want to go ahead and point out this road here is now cleared. I haven't been down here in a couple of years. It's now cleared. This right here they call Beaver Road. Now, what happens is if you go ahead and you walk it to where we're at right now and you walk down Beaver, there's going to be a creek going through the very center of this plateaued area. And then you cross that creek and you walk a little bit further and then you'll catch coyote. You make a left on coyote, you walk back down, you catch a bobcat, you make a left on bobcat, walk back down, make a right, and head you back out to the parking lot. So you can actually do a circle. Let me check my phone, or unless you can see what time do you have on your phone. Can you see?
11:20.
Okay, so we started at 10:15. It's now 11:20. We still would have had another 5 minutes down to that thing there. So we did a little bit less than an hour. It used to take me about 45 minutes. But like I said, we're going to go up here and we're going to check and see. I was just telling John also that when you do come back here during this time of year, which is March and April, what you want to make sure is that when you do hear this clucking and you go up towards it, always make sure that the sun is not behind you, that it will cast a shadow, because as soon as they see your shadow on the water, there could be hundreds of them in that pond. They will dive, and they will stay in the water under that for probably 15 minutes to 30 minutes until they know that you're no longer there. You have to always, of course, back out. And then what's going to happen is at the far end of wherever they're at, you'll hear the first cluck, and then eventually they will all come back up and they'll be there going crazy. But always remember, do not cast a shadow on the water because they'll dive. Okay? All right, let's give this a shot.
All right, so we're at this vernal pond where the frogs are.
You can tell where you'll be live.
Yeah.
You can see like down there where you see these little swirls. What are those things called?
Yeah.
The swirls. That's where they were before they saw or heard us, and then they dove, and they'll be down in those leaves. And see that green algae stuff over there? That's not egg masses. That's like algae almost. I don't know what the real term for it is, but they'll stay hidden down there now until they no longer see or hear us. But you know that they were there because, you know, the ripples. Oh, there's one. You see that one right there, John? That's floating on the very top?
Yeah.
Okay. And over there, you'll see them swimming over towards, yeah, so there are a few here. Now what's going to happen is, and you can actually see some of them there, but your eyes have to get accustomed to it. But we're going to go down over the hill here on Beaver, and that's the place where I saw the biggest freaking frog orgy in my entire life years and years ago. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. we were walking down over that hill. We heard these turkeys gobbling, and when we figured out what it was,
Yeah, I
we
see one
found 'em.
swimming there.
Yeah, we found them. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. There are some here for sure. You'll see there's like leaves that are white right at the corner of that second leaf from that side. That's yellow. There's one right there on that leaf. Yeah, so they are out. So we're gonna go down over the hill, and that's my spot. Down over the hill is the place that I saw the most ever in my entire life. There's right there again. Like I said, there's two of them there, in fact. Yeah, there's a couple of them floating in there. You see them down there, man?
Yeah, I think I just saw something go down.
Yeah, and there you just saw the water moving out, so one just dove.
Yeah,
There's one right now looking right at us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the one just sitting there hanging in the middle of water.
Yeah, he's just
there
looking right
I have
at
him
us.
around the camera right now. He's right there in the middle of the shot there. He's just floating.
Yeah, and that's what they'll do. But seriously, when I saw them that one time, there was 1,000 of them. It was the eeriest thing I ever saw in my entire life. So that's why I have to you have to go ahead and see that again, because there's just some things in the world that you say to yourself, that was too creepy, weird, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out around the edge here. This is the Vernal Pond that I've always thought was the coolest one. It's going to be off to our right-hand side. We're going to try to go ahead and stay out. I don't know if there's going to be anything there at all. It could be complete, like, who cares? But at the same time, it might be something cool. You never know. So we're going to find out.
And there's some eggs there along the. Yeah, there's some one just went down in the eggs.
You can see the water circled.
Yeah.
There's the egg sacs there. So, 20-some years ago, I was here, and we came across this thing, and this thing here was white with bodies, and they were all going at it. It was the wildest thing I ever saw. It was this entire length of this thing. And then as soon as they saw us, they dove, and it took us 30 minutes. We sat over there, and we waited for 30 minutes, and then down at the far end, one made a noise, a cluck, and then they all slowly emerged, and then they just went nuts again. But I didn't hear any of them coming down over the hill, so I don't think they were actually even like busy today at all. But you still on? Okay, so
Yeah.
you see all the egg sacs down there. I mean, it's crazy with egg sacs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they must have been out here earlier, which it kind of sucks for us, but it's cool for them. Okay.
Yeah. They got their Namke Pamke and.
Yeah. But and if you look the whole way down through there, now also on your left-hand side, you'll see all the coal that was dug out of here, and that was all the scrap coal. There's a special name for it. Do you remember
Slag,
that?
I think.
Yeah, it is. And that's the stuff that was not worth them hauling out of here. Same thing with on this side here. Look how deep. I mean, because you figure that hill came straight across. It was a hill, and they made this indentation in here. So this is all strip mining, and this was probably done in the late 1800s, early 1900s for this time period, for this area. So, but this is my favorite spot. This is on Beaver, and like I said, it's 45 minutes normal walk for me. It took us like about an hour to get in here, goofing off. So that's not too bad actually. What you want to do is if you come back here next year, come back where what is this, like March 20th.
Yeah.
So you come back in early March, maybe like the 13th or earlier, who knows, and check it out with the way the climate is now. Who knows anymore? But that's just cool. And I'm glad that John came back here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. What do you think? Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's cool just to come out here.
This is if you look out over the hills here, and I want to point out since we're already here. So off to our left-hand side here is a food plot. You can't really see it. And then down over this hill, this road here will continue. There'll be a creek down there. It's full of evergreens, pines, You climb over it. There's no easy way to get across it. You're going to get wet feet, okay? Unless somebody threw all kinds of boulders in there, and I don't think they can. And then you get to the other side of it, and you walk up just a small little bit, and that's when you catch the other road running parallel with boxcar. It's called Coyote. And then you head back that direction. And you end up doing, a circle or a square. And it's a good walk, you know what I mean? If you want to come out here, don't bring any trash. If you do, take it home with you. You know, keep it as nice as possible. I love it out here, though.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area.
It's really a beautiful area. Yeah, don't screw up what we have. So, yeah, I love it.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, well, thanks for watching this part. I'm sure you'll see me again.
Yeah, we'll do something at the very end.
Yeah.
Just to show that we survived.
Yeah, and that's true because we're not back yet. We got another hour to get back, and we're not the fittest people.
No, that's definitely true. All right, thanks everybody.
Bye. Oh my gosh, we're together again.
And we survived.
My gosh, yes.
We hope we can at least roll down the last bit of the hill there. But
gosh.
this is the entrance to where you go up the Boxcar Rocks. Very, very cool place to go. It's sedimentary type. It's not actual rocks, like solid rocks, but it's like sedimentary, glued all together and it's like that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty neat. But they're the size of boxcars, thus the name.
Like two boxcars on top of each other, really. What it comes down to. That's why they call it Boxcar Rocks, because it's really two boxcars high.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't come back here in the summertime unless you're prepared for snakes. Okay. Come back here this time of year right now. It's perfect time to get here. It's, I don't know, the temperature is 50 some degrees right now. There's no snakes out. If there is, they're really brave snakes, but they're slow. But anyway, it's fantastic back there, and it goes on for quite a distance. There's been a lot of people, though. When I say a lot, there's been several people that I know of in my lifetime that have killed themselves by trying to rappel and stuff like that. Not a smart move.
Yeah.
So just be careful back there. But
yeah, it's high up. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. So John and I did make it. In other words, we are about maybe 10 minutes away from the car, downhill though, okay? But we did go ahead and make it the whole way back there, you know, to where we did our other videos, and we're both still alive, and we're tired. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so anyway.
Cool.
We have people coming down through here, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and pause for a station identification.
Oh, we're back.
And we are back. What's your name of your station?
It's Hometown Historian.
Hometown Historian, that's what it comes down to. That's what we're at right now. But anyway, back that way, like I said, it was Boxcar Rocks. Behind us was Boxcar Road. Boxcar Road goes back my old pace, an hour and 15 minutes, and then it comes to a T. One T will go ahead and take you south down into an area called Jeff Swamp. Quicksand, really. There's really quicksand down there. There's also beavers down there. There's also wild water running all over the place. And there's also, we were just talking about this, mine shafts that have collapsed. That's called what I just call the subsidence. So if you see an indentation, stay the blank away from it, because you know what, you could fall several levels down.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the same thing with the other side of the mountain here. If you see subsidence, don't be brave. Don't go ahead and say, "Oh, let me jump on this." It's not a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna see you again.
No. And I always make sure. You see, I'm wearing orange. I always make sure if you come back here by yourself hiking, make sure somebody knows where the blank you're at, okay? And wear something bright so no hunter shoots you intentionally, okay? But yeah, because who knows where people are going to find you back here. People get lost overnight here all the time. If you do get lost, remember always follow the water. The water will eventually go ahead and lead you down to the stream, which will eventually lead you to the Lebanon Reservoir, and then you'll get flushed into Lebanon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what that
and
works.
People will enjoy the taste of you.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it probably tastes better than the water.
You never know. Actually, if you've never been down to the Lebanon Reservoir, which is called also High Bridge, you ever do a video yet?
Yeah, I actually did one up there.
Did you? It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It really is. If it says no trespassing,
Don't go into those
don't
areas.
go into those areas, according to me. Really nice area.
Yeah, it's a cool area. We did a video. There was a guy up there that does. He takes care of like the maintenance, lawn maintenance. He actually does like RC videos.
Oh wow!
He drives like the RCs up the dam.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really
that's
neat.
wild. That
and
would
he
be
does
really
like
cool.
the boats. The RC roads he does on the actual dam and stuff like that.
Really cool.
But it's
really a nice area. It's
Yeah.
full of rhododendrons and mountain laurel.
Yeah.
So it's gorgeous all year round. That's a neat thing. But rhododendrons, when they bloom, I forget when that is anymore. I think it's like May.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. So check that out at that time of year.
Yeah.
So
really nice trails around the entire reservoir and stuff like that.
it really
It's
is.
a
That's
neat
just down over the
area.
mountain from us. You know what I mean? So we're up on top of the mountain. This right here is, I don't know if it's called Sharp Mountain or Third Mountain, because Second Mountain's where Hawkwatch is.
Yeah, I think this is Sharp over there.
This is Sharp, and
yeah,
I think
Sharp.
that might be Stony or some other thing anymore. I forget anymore. Yeah. Check out can I go ahead and plug my daughter's video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hey, so my daughter has a website called StonyValley.com that she's been doing since she's a little kid. She's now in her 30s. She did it back when she was a teen. So it's been around for at least 10, 15 years. Check out StonyValley.com. Gives you all kinds of information about the area that we're in right now, which is St. Anthony's Wilderness / Stony Valley.
And this is the second largest wilderness in Pennsylvania, correct?
Yeah, that has no roads going through it.
Yeah.
So what happens is from Goldmine Road, which we came up on, 17 miles that way, there are no other roads that are paved going through. And now this way, I forget what it is this way, who cares? But that way, it's big.
And it has a lot of those villages and stuff.
It is. It's such a cool area. It's a great place to go ahead and bring your family. I feel it's safe, except for rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And humans.
Yeah.
So there you go.
The other thing to check out too at it's called Seagrass Dam as well, but the Lebanon Valley Lebanon Reservoir is they have the Swatara iron furnace there.
Exactly.
So one of those old iron furnaces, cool. I think it was like 1850s when they built it.
Yeah.
And then they have the original Iron Master's mansion is there, which that's private property.
Yeah.
And then I think the engineer's mansion and another one as well is there.
Yeah.
And there that whole site's like 130 acres is on the National Historic Registry.
Oh, is it really? That's
yeah,
cool. I didn't realize
it's
that.
like the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
this area though, like I said, StonyValley.com. But the big things about Stony Valley are going to be Roush Gap, really cool. Gold Mine Settlement's tough to find, but you can find it. And also Cold Springs, and that has another access through Indiantown Gap if they let you in. Those are and then there's Yellow Springs too. But Roush Gap and Cold Springs are the big draws back here if you want to see foundations. But if you just want to enjoy nature, go back to the reservoir. It's really pretty.
There's even back in Roush Gap, there's an old cemetery. I think there's only like 3 stones that are still standing.
There's 100 bodies there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and you go on findagrave.com, you can actually check out who's all buried there and the dates and stuff like that, because it'll actually have
very
that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a great area. I love this. I've been coming back here since I was a kid. I'm 60 years old now, so I've been coming back here for a long, long time. And unfortunately, it's changed somewhat. I was just saying how this right here was clear cut, and now it's growing back up. Pines. I love pine trees, and there's pine. What do you want to call them? What would you call that, John? A pine forest, but
yeah.
Pine plantation. That's what I want to go ahead and use. And what they did with this, just so in case you see a pine plantation and you know they're plantations because they're all growing in a row, what happened is the state had come in here years and years ago and planted pines to go ahead and prevent erosion in the areas that were strip mined. Okay, so when you go through these pine plantations, you got to watch because there could be strip mines in there. So you can be walking and all of a sudden.
That's why it's always probably the best idea, unless you really know the area, and even then, stick to the trails.
Stick to the trails.
Especially like Jeff's Swamp and across the Sharp Mountain and Clark's Valley, just because of the subsidence and the mine shafts.
And watch for snakes, man.
And,
I tell you.
And Jeff's Swamp also has quicksand, so it's one of those things. And the rattlesnakes are a big thing back here.
Copperheads. There's copperheads back here. Yeah. So you got to watch that. So, So what you always do is the person you don't like, have them second, because the first person scares the snake and the snake bites the second.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
And then you just let the venom do its work, and you'd be like,
how it works out.
And have a life insurance policy.
I was going to say, make sure you have a life insurance policy.
Just don't do it like the Blue-Eyed Six.
Just like Joseph Raber.
Yeah. That one was not a good idea.
That was not a smart move.
They weren't very smart with how they handled it. It was actually a brilliant idea if they had carried it out in a smarter way. Don't get ideas.
Yeah, don't get
murder's bad.
Don't get romances involved in doing illegal things.
Yeah,
it's not good.
We stay within the law.
Yeah.
That's what Smokey Bear says.
I meant to say that. Yeah.
Smokey Bear says, don't do crime, kids.
That's exactly what Smokey Bear. He says lots of things.
Man.
Yeah. Anyway, hey.
Cool.
Did we have a good hike, man?
We did. It was great.
I had a good time. Thank you for watching us.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you.
We'll see you about town. So I just wanted to give a last little synopsis on the video that Ralph and I did today. This is one of those videos I'm going to call. It's going to be a new series called Fun with Ralph and Jon, sort of making fun off of the Fun with Dick and Jane series you had as kids and stuff like that, your reading adventures. But this is going to be a new sort of adventure series. May do hiking, things like that. It really did go well. My back's sort of messy right now, but hopefully in a little while I can get back to the chiropractor and then get that solved, because it just pinches. It hurts. Ralph was very patient. I moved slower than your common sloth, and every now and then I have it pinch, and so it was very gracious of him as always to get to go on one of these adventures with him, and we'll be doing plenty more coming up. So this is going to be a new series. A number of you had said how much you really enjoyed the interaction between Ralph and I. And I think we have sort of the same weird sense of humor. That's why he calls himself Crazy Ralph. We sort of self-deprecating and stuff like that. But you also get to see a place. Unfortunately, we didn't really see a whole lot of wood frogs. We might have been. It's hard to know because, like Ralph said, with the climate changes and stuff like that, like it's been relatively in early spring, so you would think maybe they'd be out a little bit earlier partying, but I don't know. I mean, it was still cool. We got to see some of them at that first pond there, so you could see a couple of them in the water. They're sort of hard to see. This thing can only focus in so close, but overall it went really, really well. We were both sort of worried about it. I was a little worried because my back started to go out a little bit yesterday. I did a couple odd jobs that I do on the side, and back was sort of sore, so I wasn't feeling that great either. I get with the fibromyalgia or whatever this is, I get sick sometimes. But I was like, I want to go do this, and we had fun and we made it. So at some point, I want to do want to take you up to the Boxcar Rocks. We went by that, because that's really is a cool geologic feature that you just don't see a lot of places. And it's just really quite majestic. It's unfortunate people like to paint stuff, spray paint and whatnot, where they call it tagging stuff, which is a shame. But yeah, it was a cool hike. It's been a while. Like I never went out that far that way towards Jeff's Swamp. But yeah, Ralph really, if you want to find somebody that knows a lot about that Stony Valley area, I'd like to get him and Cliff together at some point, because that's sort of where Cliff, that area. Now, this is on the opposite side of where Cliff, like going out to Roush Gap and some of those ghost towns that are out there, Goldmine and whatnot, sort of where Cliff's Wandering Woodsman channel got its start. But Ralph really did a lot of hiking back there. His daughter, like he said, Brandy, she runs a site, stonyvalley.com. I will put the web address for that site, because it's a really cool site to check out with all the history and everything, and put that website up in the comments so that way you guys can access that and check it out. It's a cool site, and I think they do drive-throughs every now and then, and that site would keep you updated. I think because of COVID, they sort of canceled that stuff out the last couple years, but hopefully they'll be able to start doing that again. I think it's in the fall, I think. But those are really cool drive-throughs that you can do. And just seeing like some of these old coal mining towns like Roush Gap. Cold Spring was more like a resort town, but there's a lot of Roush Gap area and Cold Springs, and in Yellow Springs there's a bunch of foundations. Goldmine, that little village there, Cliff had just done a video recently on that town. And we're talking about going up there because there's an old iron furnace somewhere in that region. So we're going to check that out. That'll be the next like hiking, going out in nature video. But Cliff and I are going to do that together. But yeah, so fun with Ralph and Jon. It's going to be a new series. I'm not going to have any of like the intro, outro videos for this one. I want to get some other pictures and stuff like that of the of us, and maybe do it like a cool little animated thing. It'll be sort of fun, but I think it's got a different, like, cool dynamic to it. A lot of fun, the humor, a lot of people really enjoyed. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be more to come. Thank you as always, and we'll see you about town.